My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of 13 Ghosts. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I watched this movie for the first time in 2017, I think, and I hated this movie. I thought it was stupid, annoying, not scary, but plenty of time has passed, and I just gave it another shot, and I actually liked it this time. I know some people love this movie, and I'm not quite there, but still a pretty decent movie. So let's begin talking about the cast, and Tony Shalhoub, I think, does a pretty good job. His performance is nothing great, but he carries this movie well enough, and he does what he needed to. Matthew Lillard, though, is the standout. He is so over the top and obnoxious and annoying in the best possible way. It feels like he's in a cartoon and he just keeps this movie entertaining. Shannon Elizabeth, I thought, did a perfectly fine job. Her character has a really weird obsession with bathrooms, but she's good. Alec Roberts, I thought, did a perfectly fine job. And War Digger is pretty decent as well. F. Murray Abraham does a fine job while he's in this movie, but he's not really present much. Embeth Daviditz, I thought, did a pretty decent job. And J.O. Bourne does a perfectly fine job. So the cast is perfectly fine, but Matthew Lillard is the clear standout. And let's actually talk about my issues first, because this movie is not tense. This movie isn't remotely scary. I watched this movie last night in pitch black, and not a single scene gave me goosebumps. Not a single scene got me on the edge of my seat. So if you're watching this movie to be scared, you will be disappointed. I also think that the plot can get overly convoluted. There's a scene at the end of the movie where the two kids are like in the middle of this circular thing, and Tony Shalhoub jumps into it to rescue them, but then it doesn't even seem like he's supposed to. He just kind of gets lucky, and it's just a really weird moment to me. I also think the movie does lose steam in the last act. I was really enjoying the movie, but I started to feel its drag. It doesn't feel like there was enough momentum for an entire 90 minutes. But all that said, I still have a good time with this movie. The production design is great. Like, it's very unique, and you see this glass house, and everybody in the movie seems to love it, but I just look at it and I'm like, who would want to live here? Like, this is just ugly, but it's ugly in a distinct way that gives this movie its identity. And I love the fact that it's always changing and doors are closing, others are opening up. It's like a maze that's ever evolving. So that's a great element of this movie. There is some very impressive makeup and practical effects here. The CGI looks as fake as can be, but it adds a nice cartoonish element to this movie. The editing is definitely divisive because this movie feels like a strobe light at times. It is lots of quick cuts, and it can be too much for people, but I actually didn't mind it. I think it adds personality to it. So I do think this movie is well directed by Stephen Beck, and then we get the goals. And I love the fact that you can only see the goals if you wear these glasses. This would have been a perfect movie to be made in 3D, that could have been a really cool aspect, but still, it's a unique idea. I do like reading the backstory of the ghosts. I just wish that was present in the actual movie, like the lore behind them. But what really stands out about the ghosts are the designs. Like you've got the jackal, which is this girl in like this cage, and she is the best part of this movie. The only really effective moment is when the daughter is getting attacked by her and the father is just helpless. That is the standout moment. We also got the hammer. Well, it's like this guy with all these like giant screws through his body. The Great Child I thought was a great design, and the torso, which is like half a body wrapped up in saran wrap. Something that looks really weird and unnerving about it. So, yes, I do like the ghost designs, I like the production design. This movie has enough energy to it. It is very over the top in a good way. So, I do find this movie entertaining. I do find it to be a fun time. I also wish it was better written. I also wish it had more momentum in the last act. And I do wish this movie was scary. So, it's all about what you want out of it, but I think if you go in with an open mind, you'll enjoy it enough. So I'll give 13 Ghosts a 6.5 out of 10. I also remember around the same time I was very critical of House on Haunted Hill, but now I want to rewatch that movie and give it another shot. But 13 Ghosts, have you seen them? What do you think about this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.